What is up, you guys? It is Jess, and I'm back here with all of the goods from the pre-order mega bundle for Red Handed Denial's brand new album, Redeemer. I've been listening to this album non-stop since it came out, and it took a little longer than expected to get all the stuff up here to Alaska. Shipping takes longer just because I'm in the Great White North, Arctic Tundra. It is what it is, but let's get into it. So the first little thing that came with it was a Red Handed Denial logo enamel pin. This is kind of how you identify the band because they've had this logo probably ever since I came across them in 2015, probably a lot longer than that. And this is how I know that they're on a piece of work, is when you see this logo right here. Next thing is the Redeemer album poster. This is actually signed by all of the members of the band. I actually have the Wanderer poster behind me, but this one is actually signed, so this one will always hold a special place in my heart. I might not put it up yet just because I'm supposed to be leaving in August and I don't feel like rearranging my room one more time. So once I get my new space, this will actually be up. I will probably frame this one as well as all of the ones behind me that are actually also signed by artists. So look forward to seeing this one up on the wall. So when it comes to the merch, it came with 2 t-shirts and a long sleeve. Both t-shirts are kind of the same. One is black on white, and then the other one is white logo on black t-shirt. But this one and the black t-shirt have the same logo on the front. But I really like the concept for these shirts. A lot of the artwork is similar to the album artwork as well, just like the stone people at the bottom and then kind of a peaceful figure up top. So this is a long sleeve. It's got a modified Red Handed Denial logo on the front. It's kind of got like a flower, and then on the arm it actually just says Red Handed Denial, and then on the back it's got a cool kind of skeleton artwork that's also got like skeletons at the bottom and then just like the peaceful image at the top. I will say, for someone who absolutely loves Red Handed Denial, I actually was not a fan starting off. I got into them, I actually came across them in 2015 and was not a fan. I loved the kind of music and instrumentals they had with the kind of heavier metal sound. I just did not like Lauren's vocals whatsoever. And once I started getting into bands that had more scream vocals in them, I started to kind of just drift towards that genre, and I actually went back to Red Handed Denial and I ended up falling head over heels for this band. So one of my favorite things I like to talk about is just the kind of progression that bands have made from their previous works. And with Red Handed Denial, their first EP, Eyes and Liquid Skies, I was not into after I went back. I'm still not wholeheartedly like settled on it. I do enjoy the instrumentals. Lauren's vocals I just think are kind of, I don't want to say cringeworthy, but they kind of are, and I think she probably agrees. And then if you go into Stories of Old, she did get a lot better with her vocals, I will say, but it's still not where I had expected it to be. But once the band hit the Wanderer EP, I think that's where I really started to enjoy their music. The Wanderer EP in itself is just an incredible piece of work. I've always said Widowmaker is my favorite song on that EP. Possibly out of all of Red Handed Denial, Widowmaker is my favorite. I actually put out the challenge prior to the release of Redeemer to see if Red Handed Denial could top Widowmaker as my favorite song. I will get into that later. But the band has stated that Redeemer is a continuation of the Wanderer story, so if you listen to the Wanderer EP front to back, as well as the instrumental track Limbo that the band released in the middle, and then on into the Redeemer album all the way through, you can tell that it's a story and you can kind of like piece together what is actually going on. It's a very, very beautiful story. Lots of highs, lots of lows, lots of emotions going around. It's an insane, incredible piece of work. I love Redeemer so much, and I really think the band stepped it up with this album, especially Lauren's vocals. I thought she really hit it off in the Wanderer EP, but boy was I wrong. She definitely like stepped it up further. So I knew that Lauren had the potential. I actually got into her before I got into Red Handed Denial because I had come across her through some of Cole Rowland's guitar covers, and I really enjoyed kind of the style that she brought. And then I heard Red-Handed Denial, didn't enjoy it, and then just started listening to her vocals on some of the covers she was doing, especially like on her channel, and I ended up falling in love with Red-Handed Denial on the way. And it's just insane to see the progression that the band has gone through in their albums and EPs. So I knew Lauren is a versatile artist just because even some of the stuff she was releasing for Crazy 88, she's obviously got that rough, you know, metal tone, and then she can also sing over like some, you know, rock stuff. She's done so many different styles, it's insane. She's talking about putting out some pop material. I'm actually kind of excited to hear that because I know she can sing over the heavy stuff. I know she's got a great clean voice and a great scream voice, but I want to see how she can transpose that into pop music, and I really think that she can pull it off. There might be some doubters, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that, especially some of the stuff she done with Crazy 88, especially on a couple other EPs, and then the Burning Alive album was definitely kind of just a mix of a little bit of everything. And especially with Red-Handed Denial, they have more heavier stuff than Crazy 88, but you can definitely tell that she brings in insane vocal work on both projects. So I'm really looking forward to see what she actually pulls through with the pop stuff, and I'm really looking forward to it. So when it comes to the Redeemer album itself, you've got the album artwork. This is actually signed by all of the members of the band as well, like the poster. And when they started releasing singles from this album, they started off with Clockwork, Empire, and Abdication. My favorites from this album are not actually singles, and this album has a few instrumentals. They've done this in the past where they just release instrumental tracks, and I personally don't download them on any of my digital stuff, but if I was listening to the album in my car, I would just play everything front to back without skipping and stare out the window. It'd be emo. But this album is incredible. So a lot of my favorites from this album, Locked in a Vacancy, I really ended up finding that I enjoyed. I think it's just because the way Lauren just perceives the vocals in that song, just some of her runs are just incredible. Worse for Wear, I thought was going to be the one that I enjoyed the most from this album based on just the small teaser that they had put on YouTube. I do enjoy it, but over time I found out there's songs that I enjoyed a lot more. I like Redemption a lot just because it starts off with kind of a Red Dead Redemption 2 acoustic guitar yeehaw type thing at the beginning, and then just goes into hard-hitting, just flat-out metal style, and it's insane. Towards the end of that song, there's more gang vocals. Of course, everybody knows me. I enjoy good gang vocals, great gang vocals. So I really enjoyed that portion a lot. So I think my favorite from this album is Solace, just because Lauren can pull off the clean vocals so well, and it shows that she doesn't necessarily need to scream at every song, and that she can still pull off a clean vocal without, you know, getting insane and crazy. So I really enjoyed that song, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the album for me. So there's some Easter eggs in this album that goes back to the Wanderer EP. The song Sins of Yesterday is actually in correlation with the song Collector from the Wanderer EP, and there's actually a line in Sins of Yesterday that says "The Raven's Calling." That's also homage to Collector as well, because Collector actually has a similar line in that song. The biggest Easter egg I had seen was in Redemption. Actually, the band had mentioned it during the live stream when I said that Widowmaker was my favorite. They mentioned in Redemption, there's a line that says, "Rise above the shadows, putting forth your hands." That's actually a line from Widowmaker verbatim, and I really enjoyed it because they kind of slipped it in with the gang vocals toward the end of the song, and I was like, I had goosebumps. It was that bad because I love Widowmaker to death, and just hearing that on the Redeemer album, I think it just kind of rounded out everything for me, and it made Redemption one of my favorite songs on the album. So for those of you who don't know, Red-Handed Denial is a completely independent band. They do everything on their own by themselves. with the help of a few of their friends, but they are incredible for an independent band. I've seen a lot of independent bands start off that way and either get signed and then crash and burn, or just be independent and just immediately crash and burn. But these guys have been around since before 2015, since I've been in their fan base. And I think if they get the right momentum, they're going to take off. They already have an incredible fan base as is. I've already seen people who have never heard of them before say, oh, I really enjoy this, or this is a new band that I can definitely get into. So it's going to be incredible to see where these guys are 3-4 years down the road, because after this album, my expectations are even higher. And this is insane. I love this album to death. I think it's definitely in the running for my favorite album of 2019. There are some others that could take it, but this is a close contender. I think that this might take it. We'll see. It's only April, so we still have a little bit of time, but I'm definitely keeping this one in the back of my mind. So the very last thing that came with the Mega Bundle is a set of handwritten lyrics of a song from the album. I ended up getting Solace, which, as I've said in the past, is my favorite song from this album. I am super hyped to have a handwritten copy of these lyrics because I really adore this song so much. And I know I've said in the past that Widowmaker is my favorite Red Handed Denial song, but I might have to hand the crown over to Solace just because I just started crying when I heard that song, and I haven't cried at a song in a very long time. And it's incredible. So it was neck and neck. It honestly was like so close, but I really think this Solace just was that much more. And guys, you really blew this album out of the water, and for you guys to top Widowmaker, I think that's something, because I'm extremely picky when it comes to the songs that I enjoy. Widowmaker was my favorite for so long, and I can't believe you guys actually did it. But kudos to you guys. You definitely pulled this album off, and I honestly can't wait to hear what else you guys have to offer. I definitely will be keeping this album in the back of my mind for the top album of 2019. It's definitely high up there. We will see. If you guys don't know Red Handed Denial, check them out. They've got a couple albums out. Definitely check out the Wonder EP as well as the Redeemer album. Both are incredible, insane pieces of music, and I love this band to death. They know that. Their fans know that. Yeah. If there's nothing else, I'm Jess. See you later.